Oh, hi Anupama. Oh, see, my friends are here. I'm so
Nice,
happy.
nice. My friends also here. I recognize like some of them, so that's nice.
Okay, fine, cool.
I went all nerd and I made like tiny notes also.
Oh my god, you
I'm
are
gonna ask
making me
you
so
something.
not nervous.
No, no, are what? I'm gonna ask you tiny, tiny things. See, I took notes.
Okay, cool.
Nice,
Let's
huh?
just start. Let's
Yeah,
just
cool.
start, please.
So for everyone who's already joined in, we are doing a collaboration on an article on radio, and we're looking at how radio culture and consumption has changed with the advent of social media and streaming services. So for the subject expert, I thought there'll be no one better than Sakshi to join in because she's been working in this field and she has this lived experience in what it feels like to be a part of producing and being the part of that world which is responsible for this entire massive culture of radio. So the first things first, I wanted to ask you, why did you choose radio as your option, being a journalism student?
Okay, so as you know that JP English and Christ University doesn't teach you anything about radio. They don't even talk about that. Like that's what CET people do, right?
True.
But so I was almost done with college, and I shit you not, how it worked out was I called one of my mentors that I'd worked with in the past. His name's Darius, and I called him and I started blabbering like I don't know what to do, this, that, la 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 la. And weirdly enough, when I had worked with him in Vocal, it's a voice-based app for social media of sorts, right? There also I did voice trainings with him and things like that. Then I went to Mumbai to work for Times Internet, and even then I ended up doing voiceovers for videos. So it never really made sense to me why I was doing any of that stuff, but somehow when he told me that you have all this voiceover doing experience, you like content creation, why don't you go into radio? And I had like the biggest laugh. I'm like, first of all, who listens to radio anymore, right?
True.
Because I
Same
come from a
question.
small town. Yeah, because I come from a small town where wherever you need to go, you can reach in 10 minutes. So you don't need to listen to radio. Nobody actively listens to radio. And once I was in Bangalore, I didn't have a car, and I would never plug into my phone just to listen to radio, right? So I was like, what, really? That is still happening? Okay, cool. And he's like, yes, woman, that's still happening, keeping people employed. Why don't you go check it out? And I was like, will do. So just like that, shamelessly, like Christ people, I started applying, randomly sending emails, send my resume to people like, hire me. This is the last time I'm going to do something unpaid, hoping that won't have to do something unpaid after this. So please hire me. That's where Fever 104 came into picture, and I went there and I saw all these cool people like Danish, Sriram Sulya, and like these people that I had just seen on stage at under 25 and shit like that. And I was getting an opportunity to work with them. So I jumped at it. I'm like, whatever, I'm doing this. And once I started, I realized it was fantastic. It was all the kind of crazy I needed. And it's
So
like,
what was
there's
the
one thing about,
response? Yeah. So what
yeah,
was the response
so,
of your parents and like your friends when you wanted to go for radio instead of like the popular medias, like for example broadcast or for print also for that matter?
I mean, my parents had given up on me for like, after I said, oh, 4 years of IIT coaching and no engineering, they were like, do what you want. Don't tell us, do what you want. Okay, just let us know how it figures out. Hi Yash. Yash actually worked with me at the
Oh,
radio
nice.
station. Yeah, so he knows what I'm talking about, unpaid, and how it is difficult and the challenges we go through. So basically, my friends and everybody, much to my surprise, was quite intrigued. Every time I would mention I work in radio, I would suddenly become the life of the party. Like, oh my god, she works at radio. Like, never have I ever gotten this much attention in my life before for anything else I've done. But just to be in radio. Because, it comes as a shock to people that people are still working in radio.
I mean, yeah, like even when I heard like out of everything that you wanted to choose, you chose radio. It came as quite a shock to even me because when you look at journalism and especially when you look at universities and placements and the entire idea of people becoming successful in media, very rarely is there a mention of radio in that entire culture and stream. So,
Yeah, that's
also, what could you highlight about your job, like in that entire idea of radio culture? What were you doing, and what was your entire persona?
See, the thing about radio is just that it's just as much media as anybody else. So you get the same opportunities, you have the same problems, and you have just it's amazing the kind of people you meet in radio. I shit you not, because I've worked with print, I've worked with broadcast. Everybody, like, it's difficult to fit in, no, initially when you reach there as a clueless intern with, they know they don't have to pay you, you're just there to get the coffee. But when you reach radio and all you have to say is, I want to learn, and they'll like accept you with open arms. They'll be like, okay, come, learn this also, learn that also, do this also, do that also. They'll do as much for you as you will do for them. Okay, and I just the people over there. I don't know how somehow cool people end up in radio, I guess.
I mean,
But
that's nice.
but yes, coming back, the highlight of my job would be just how fast it was. You wouldn't think that it opened gates for me to meet somebody like the former chief of NASA, and that's something. He did only 3 interviews when he was in India, and one of them was with radio, and I was
I mean,
like,
that's
wow.
big.
Yeah, so you get the opportunities that you wouldn't think you will conventionally get with other mediums, because there's so many just fighting for that one spot. But there's individual spot for radio set, because no matter what, you can't deny its importance.
Also, I really like the fact that out of everything, radio has its own charm to itself. But one thing I wanted to know was what is this entire idea of talking and the conversation that you have with the audience, and like how that connects a person and a medium together. And that is different from other forms because with print, you are actually going through your words and photographs. And with even broadcast, you actually have a live picture of a person on screen who you can connect to. So you have your favorite journalist in mind. But with radio, it's a completely different world altogether. So could you just shed a
Yeah.
little light upon that?
Okay, so let me tell you how things have changed a little bit for radio. First of all, earlier the music you listened to on radio was played by discs. So the RJs would sit and they would burn the CDs for the
Oh,
music and
damn.
bring in and play that disc. And if the system crashed, you had to go to a different studio, play that disc all over again and shit like that. Now it's thanks to technology, everything's much easier, very convenient, right? There's set number of music playlists in front of you that's already been paid for from the station, so these are the songs you can play and things like that. There's a system where you can open your WhatsApp and social media, so you can see live interaction. Now that is where when you say that people don't really know the voice that is on air, that becomes a little wrong, because they do know. When they hear you on air, like when they hear Sakshi and Kay talking on air, they immediately go to social media and like, who are these people, right? This is what we do with literally everyone, right? So they immediately go on their social media and be like, okay, who is this Kay, who is this Sakshi? And once they have your face, they start connecting with you, because the thing with radio and any media and in any profession, I feel your job doesn't just end when you leave the office, right? So you connect with a lot of people on a personal basis. Like there were so many listeners who had been coming to the studios for years. They would come and celebrate their birthdays with us, bring us cakes. Their children know us, our names. Before their exams, they would call us, and it becomes like a family. Honestly, I don't honestly, as somebody who never heard radio in her life and never had this kind of connection with somebody that I heard on air, I never understood it. I was shocked. I reached there, people are coming to meet us, and they want to have coffee with us. They just want to have a conversation with us in the busy. Like people would come from like different ends of Bangalore just to come say hi. Like that was
That's
just
amazing.
fantastic. I don't understand it still. It's just some connection that you feel. I don't know, like people stuck in traffic every morning, you hear the same voice, people call in, you speak with them. It's about building relationships, I feel. So even though radio in itself is, a form of media, it still exists in parallel with social media and everything else. So it all comes together. Hi, Namita. Okay, sorry.
I mean, it's actually very interesting to look at how people are connected to that medium, even though it's such an old form of journalism as such. Because even if I remember, I have never actually gone and heard radio myself. It's always been if I'm in a car with my parents or we're having a drive
Right.
to Pachmari, to, for example, say Jabalpur or Bhopal or Indore for that matter. That 6 or 7 hours long drive, we used to have the radio on. Because it was then when you look at the jokes, you hear the jokes, you hear the music that you want to hear, and then you hear the RJ, and then you hear many interviews. So it's like that intimate culture that you have between the audience and the medium as well. And I mean, what the focus that I also was looking at was how we start consuming this idea of radio in a world where you have streaming services like Spotify, etc. So, what would you think is the future of radio when you already are consuming podcasts and songs on streaming services? So, does radio then
Yeah.
become obsolete?
Okay, so I strongly disagree with the fact that radio in itself as a medium will become obsolete and irrelevant, because it will not, and I'll tell you why. Because compare all the media that is out there at the moment, you compare print, you compare all the noise that is on television every night, and everything else, right? Radio, I can guarantee, is putting out best content. Okay, the interviews, the people they manage to get, and the sheer amount of work that goes into making that 15 minutes of interview happen, anything just doesn't fly with radio. There's a lot of people, scrutinizing everything that goes on air. Nothing can go wrong. So the content on air is, filtered at a lot of stages. So the content on air is actually good. And what like, I understand that radio stations in India are a little behind on the technology. They could immediately take this and make it a podcast, or they
Yeah.
could, like, some radio stations like indigomusic.com and all, they have websites and things, whereas Radio 1 does not. So different people, different places with regards to technology, but we're getting there. Because if you see abroad, right, they have these amazing podcasts which were just radio
Yeah.
shows. You have these interviews with Ariana Grande and so many people,
Ryan
just even the
Seacrest
videos.
interviews.
Yeah, Ryan Seacrest. I
Uh,
mean, come on. Who can say that radio is going to become
exactly.
irrelevant with people like that still existing, right? Because, see, it is like saying when television came, newspapers will become irrelevant. No, nothing becomes irrelevant, because there are people even today who have that habit of every morning reading the newspaper. When
Yeah,
Kindle
exactly.
came, did books become irrelevant? They did not. There is always going to be an audience for this kind of a medium. So I don't think the medium in itself will become irrelevant, especially like in coronavirus times and whatnot. You saw that, radio was non-stop on, and it was
Exactly.
actually giving the best information out. Like, you will never hear like random things on radio. If it's on radio, it's probably true, right? So that's the saying, and that's how it goes, and it is true, because all we hear is Radio Gaga. I have to. Come on. I mean, you can't argue with Queen.
I
So
swear.
yeah, I don't think it'll become irrelevant at all. As long as that song exists, we will exist.
And it's like so cool to see that even Doordarshan, at a point of like this pandemic, had a
Exactly.
giant audience for Mahabharata and Ramayana, which are like the and the old versions, not even the new ones. So those
Yeah, yeah.
old shows had such a massive audience just watch them. And that sort of puts it into perspective of even how many people tune into radios and how many people actually physically read newspapers. And then there is this
Yeah.
giant population that still is very loyal to these forms of media. So it's
Hmm.
actually very
True.
interesting to look at. Also, I heard that the shows that you produce go on for at least 5 hours at a stretch. Like,
Yes.
is that
Yes.
true? Is that not true? What is going on?
So there are different formats, right? So if you hear radio in Sri Lanka, they'll have RJs talking for half an hour, 1 hour non-stop. Whereas the clock we follow in Radio 1 or India overall is like, you break that hour into parts where it will have ad breaks, it will have music breaks, and then the RJ talking. Right? So every time an RJ goes on air and talks, it's called a link, because it
Oh,
links either two songs or a song with with another element, an ad or something like that, right? So it's called a link, and each link is about 2.5 minutes each. Okay, so when you hear an interview which is an hour long, technically you're hearing only 10 minutes of it. You're hearing it in parts is all. So yes, the show does go on for 5 hours, and those 5 hours you're constantly in the studio, engaged, talking, keeping your energy up, conversing with people on social media simultaneously, recording calls, putting them on air. So there's a lot that goes on into those 5 hours. Radio One does 5 hours, like Fever does 4 hours, and different radio stations have their own radio show timings. But yes, some shows do go on for a longer period of time.
I mean, that's just insane because even when you look at like how television works, the major primetime shows are generally an hour or 2 hours. And
Yeah.
the production behind those also is quite a long process. But the main television focus is just an hour or two. But with radios, it stretches upon such a long period of time. And I think in our times today, where everyone is on social media, everyone is scrolling, we don't give that much credit to radio that it deserves with the amount of content it is creating and the type of content that is also being created.
I mean,
So,
I don't really blame the people, because I never blamed myself for not listening to radio and then having joined radio. I don't blame you for not tuning in every morning, like, oh, it's
yeah.
7 a.m., have to listen to Sakshi. So, I don't blame you either for not picking up the newspaper every morning either. I think it's just about habits. That is one thing. And the other thing is, I blame the radio stations more. I mean, I see, the technology is at your disposal.
Yeah.
It's yours for the taking. There was not a time before coronavirus that people could have imagined doing shows from home, not because they were not possible. Sheer
Not because they were not
resistance,
required.
sheer resistance कि no studio, this is how it's like parampara, ऐसा ही होता आ रहा है, ऐसा ही होता रहेगा. Okay, so it was about that no, RJ has to come to the studio, do the show, go back. It has to be that way. Okay,
I mean,
just
but that
because
needs to change, right? Like,
exactly.
does a pandemic result into that change, or should that change come naturally for mediums like radio?
So So see, nothing comes naturally for radio, first of all. Like everything has to be pushed and like talked and it's discussed and so many things happen, just like any other corporation, to be honest. But the thing is, what happened with this pandemic is we were forced to face the reality that this can happen and this can happen more efficiently. I'll give you a small example.
Yeah.
So what we did, I was given clear instructions. Okay, I don't know if I can say this, but I was given clear instructions that we do not do an interview with somebody who will not take out the time to come to our studios and do that interview with us if it's a free interview, right? Like because
Oh wow.
airtime is because people pay to get on
Yeah,
air
yeah.
and there's paid promotions and stuff, just like any other media. So if it's a free feature, you do not feature people who wouldn't take the time out and come to the studio. So the my friend is I love you guys. Okay, so if you don't come to the studio, your interview doesn't air. That was the deal. And
Oh,
now,
interesting.
because see, there were people in Delhi who we found were interesting, and people in Bangalore would find their content relevant, right? But we were not allowed those calls. We were not like it was told to avoid doing
Mhm.
call interviews. Now that's all we're doing, right? We're like, please don't come to the studio. We'll do the interview over call, right?
Nice.
So that was just one switch that we were resistant towards, nothing else. It was an ego thing, maybe, right? But now we're forced to face the reality that same quality of content can be maintained with those phone call interviews as well. So why not, right? So we're
Exactly.
slowly moving in the right direction, I feel.
So
Forced but right.
yeah, exactly. But what do you think is like the future of radio in the coming decade and on? Because see, already radio has seen like three major shifts from television in India specifically, television and then social media and now streaming services. Now there'll obviously be new shifts in the next few decades as well. So what do you think is the future of radio as such?
Okay, so what I think is going to happen, or rather can see happening, is what happened with print. Okay, when digital forms of news started coming, people were like, "Oh, newspapers irrelevant. Nah, macha, nobody's gonna read this now. Fuck that. Fuck this." But when you go and consume news online today, where do you consume it? Hindustan Times. You consume it on Times of India,
Okay,
New York Times. Where are
interesting.
you consuming the news ultimately? It's on a different platform, sure, but what is the source? The source remains the same. So what
Exactly.
I think is going to happen is when people are seeing podcasts and everything like these streaming platforms as something different from radio, and they're seeing it as something as a competition of radio, whereas I feel they'll exist in a very symbiotic relationship where radio will have its authenticity present on these platforms, like how you will obviously trust a newspaper publishing a story versus a blog publishing that story,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Even though the medium is digital, the people remain the same. So I think the source of the content, audio content, will remain the same because see, they have all the equipment. Why not, right? They can produce that quality content, and they are already doing it for one medium. All they have to do is take it from there and put it on the other one.
Interesting. Also, it's like the idea of podcasts and all is thought to be so new. I mean, that's the same thing that happens at radio segments as well. So this podcast and this idea of streaming music and streaming services, it's sort of like a new adaptation of what the radio culture was inherently. So I mean, it's
I
like
mean,
an
it's
addition to that culture rather than just a competition.
true, true, true. That's what I'm saying. Like they'll become together and they'll become like something nice, like a mixture of both. But just to tell you that podcasts are new for us, maybe for Indians
Yeah,
specifically. Just because we were resistant to it, like oh no, nobody wants to listen to this. Please give visuals, right?
yeah. No one wants to listen
But
to people
podcasts,
talking.
yeah, but podcasts have existed for so long, right? Like you will see some international podcasts being in place since 2012, 2008,
Yeah,
right? With thousands episodes already published, and I'm not even kidding. So we have been resistant towards change as Indians. I think it's just what we do. But now that we are being forced to move in that direction, I think we'll reach there quicker. And I think that is the direction we're headed in. I don't think there's ever going to be anybody who will say that podcasts will take over radio or radio will take over podcast. I think they'll find a way to exist simultaneously.
It's been very, very interesting, I mean. And I think the article also that goes out tomorrow, like in the morning today, talks about the same relationship between radio and streaming services and sort of more of the experience that comes through the radio culture in our society, specifically in how we view new mediums of consumption. Because even with streaming services, it's very interesting to know that it's not something new. It's just a different ways of consuming the same exact content because it's not producing any new content. So just this idea of new technology coming in, new platforms coming in is very interesting. And for everyone watching, that article comes out tomorrow. And
Yes.
Sakshi Day and I have collaborated on that, so it's going to be amazing. So do read it and
And
tell
if
us
you
what you
have
think
any
about it.
more questions about radio and how it functions and stuff like that, although I should also tell you that I am moving forward and I don't know if I'll continue in radio as such for long, but I do wish the medium as its
Yeah.
entirety very well, because I know that there are some really good people in the industry doing some really good work and putting their heart out on the sleeves and just mingling with people and making it all happen. And I have a lot of respect for these people in my heart because I got to work with them, and it's been one hell of a ride, if not anything else, right? Because I'm not even kidding, it's very difficult to work in a radio station. Like, people think it's easy, it's very difficult. You have no idea. I mean, every intern that I've had, including myself, we've had mental breakdowns. Like, we've literally sat in the studio, cried for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then be like, oh shit, that link has to go up in 3 minutes, I have to edit it. And then you go back to editing, and then you continue your mental breakdown later because the show must go on. And I mean, before we end this, I just want to share this personal story that I don't think I've shared before. Um, so I think it was my first or the second week in radio. I had just joined, right? And it was 7 a.m. I had to, it was early in the morning, and like, I got a very sad news, okay, which I didn't believe initially. Like, the show is going on, Karan is talking, and I am standing next to him, and I just get some images of my friend apparently who's passed away in an accident. And it's early in the morning, and I'm in the middle of the show, and he's live, and I'm getting these images, and I'm just looking at Karan, and I start, like, my tears start rolling down, but I'm not making a single sound because the microphones in the studios are like, they can pick up anything, okay? And he's just, good morning Bangalore, and you're gonna have an amazing day Bangalore, and I am just standing there with my tears rolling down. I just look at him, he's looking at me, he's just saying that, okay, whatever, just hold on 1 second, we have that telepathy going on. He finishes that link, switches off the mic, and I just burst into tears. Okay, and then we go out, and I'm sitting on the floor, and I'm crying, and I'm having this whole, and so we had a Fever 104 and Radio 1 at the same place, right? So RJ Prithvi was in the other place. His producer Bhuvana was there. So it was only the four of us every morning. Everybody would come in at 11, right? By that time, our day would be half over. So and I'm just sitting there crying, and you will not believe. Like, I remember only like half of it because I was very disturbed. I saw Karan run in and out doing the show, all excited, full fun of energy, come out, console me, make sure I'm okay. Prithvi did the same thing. He would go in, come out. Like, they both just, you know, they just managed that. And and then I realized that, oh, 9 o'clock one interview has to go, it's 8:30. And he is relying on me to edit that, obviously. So I had to put all of that aside, and he asked me if I wanted to go home or if I wanted to do work. I'm like, wait, work needs to be done. So I started editing my link, and got lost in that, and then I finished my work and I went home. But the fact that, and people ask me this a lot, how are you guys able to manage that same amount of energy every day? How do you come every morning and you're like, good morning Bangalore, and let's do this Bangalore, and how do you do that? Of course, we're all humans at the end of the day, man. I mean, even the movie stars you see on the screen doing interviews day after day, they're not always happy. Nobody can always be happy. But everybody has to put their product first. I think it's just professionalism. And that's what radio is also like. People have had such difficult times in, like, such happy times and such sad times in those studios. It's become like a home because we were literally there all day, all night, sometimes, right? I was only short of sleeping there, but it's happened that I've spent almost 24 hours in the office, right? with no complaints whatsoever.
I mean, those are
Because
beautiful memories I think you will cherish in the
yeah,
future, and almost everyone who works in that field will also cherish.
yeah, it's just just at the end of the day, we all matter the product first, and as human as we are, we somehow make that happen. And I think for that very fact, I think radio deserves its respect.
Yeah,
Because you will not hear a sad RJ in the morning ever, no matter what is happening in his life. So that's something that I think people should
yeah.
value and pay attention to.
Thank you so much for doing this. And I've
No
started
problem.
this month of collaborations with like all amazing females, and you happen to be the first one. So thank you so much.
Yay!
And I love the article comes out like today in the morning. So do tune in and do read it and give us your feedback. So
Yes.
thanks.